Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the captivating world of unicorn myths. Unicorns have fascinated humanity for centuries, appearing in countless myths, legends, and even modern pop culture. However, many of the beliefs we hold about these legendary creatures are based on misconceptions. So, let's challenge those popular beliefs and uncover the truth behind the myths. Unicorns have become a symbol of magic, purity, and wonder, often associated with innocence and fantastical beauty. This image is so pervasive that it's hard to imagine unicorns as anything else. But did you know that the unicorn's origin story stretches far beyond the boundaries of medieval Europe? That's right. While many people believe that unicorns are a product of European folklore, the concept of a single-horned, horse-like creature actually has roots in much older civilizations. One of the earliest references to a unicorn-like creature can be found in ancient Mesopotamian texts, dating back to around 2000 BCE. These early accounts describe a wild ox known as the riem, which had one prominent horn. The riem was a powerful and elusive creature, often depicted as a symbol of strength and majesty. Similarly, in ancient India, there are references to a one-horned animal called the karkadon, which was feared and respected for its fierce nature. These early descriptions challenge the modern view of the unicorn as a gentle, innocent being. The idea of unicorns as gentle, pure creatures also contrasts sharply with how they were perceived in other cultures. In ancient Mesopotamia, for example, unicorns were associated with ferocity and power. The riem was not a creature you would want to encounter in the wild, as it was known for its aggressive nature. This portrayal is a far cry from the modern depiction of unicorns as harmless, delicate beings. As we move eastward, we find that unicorns took on different meanings in various cultures. In ancient China, the Qilin was a creature often depicted with a single horn, much like a unicorn. However, the Qilin was not just any mythical animal. It was considered a symbol of good fortune and prosperity. The appearance of a Qilin was thought to be a sign of an imminent era of peace and abundance. Chinese art and literature often depicted the Qilin as a wise and benevolent being, sometimes even as a protector of the innocent. Interestingly, the Qilin was also believed to be a highly selective creature, appearing only to those who were pure of heart or to mark the birth or death of a great ruler. This adds a layer of complexity to our understanding of unicorns, showing that these creatures were not just mythical beings, but also symbols of deeper cultural values and beliefs. In contrast, some African cultures had a much darker interpretation of unicorns. In certain regions, unicorns were seen as evil spirits or omens of misfortune. These creatures were believed to be connected to darkness and chaos, and their appearance was feared rather than welcomed. This stark difference in perception between Eastern and African cultures highlights the diverse ways in which unicorns have been understood throughout history. Despite these varied interpretations, one thing remains consistent. Unicorns have always been seen as creatures of great power and significance. Whether they were viewed as benevolent protectors or fearsome spirits, unicorns held a special place in the mythology of the cultures that believed in them. Now, let's address a common question. Were unicorns real? Many people today dismiss unicorns as purely fictional creatures, existing only in the realm of fantasy. However, historical records suggest that ancient cultures may have believed in the literal existence of unicorns. But were these beliefs based on actual encounters with unicorn-like animals, or were they purely symbolic? In ancient Greece, the historian Ctesias wrote about a creature called the Monoceros, which translates to one-horned. This creature was described as having the body of a horse, the feet of an elephant, and a single horn on its forehead. Ctesias' account is one of the earliest known references to a unicorn-like creature in Western literature. While this description may sound fantastical, some historians believe that Ctesias might have been describing a real animal, such as the Indian rhinoceros, which was unfamiliar to the Greeks at the time. The rhinoceros, with its large, single horn, could easily have been interpreted as a unicorn by those who had never seen such an animal before. The idea that unicorns might have been inspired by real animals is not limited to the Greek Monoceros. In ancient China, the Qilin, as mentioned earlier, was also believed to be inspired by real animals. Some scholars suggest that the Qilin may have been based on sightings of the Chinese rhinoceros or the saola, a rare and elusive animal native to the forests of Vietnam and Laos. The saola, with its long, slender horns, could easily be mistaken for a unicorn in the dense forests where it lives. These examples show that the unicorn, as we know it, may have been inspired by real animals, but over time, it became a symbol of something much more. The unicorn's single horn, for example, has been interpreted as a symbol of purity and unity, representing the idea of oneness with nature or the divine. This symbolic interpretation adds another layer of meaning to the unicorn myth, showing that these creatures were not just seen as physical beings, but also as metaphors for deeper spiritual truths. One of the most enduring myths about unicorns is that they are always depicted as white, pure, and innocent. This image has been reinforced by countless works of art, literature, and even modern pop culture. However, this is a relatively modern interpretation of the unicorn. Historical evidence suggests that unicorns were often depicted in a range of colors, including black, red, and even multicolored. For example, in medieval European art, unicorns were sometimes shown with a dark, almost ominous appearance. This was particularly true in depictions of unicorns associated with alchemy and other mystical practices, where they were seen as powerful and mysterious creatures. In these contexts, the unicorn's color was often symbolic, representing different aspects of its nature. A black unicorn, for example, might symbolize the hidden, shadowy aspects of the psyche, while a red unicorn could represent passion or the life force. This diversity in the depiction of unicorns challenges the modern view of these creatures as purely gentle and innocent beings. In reality, unicorns were seen as complex and multifaceted, embodying a wide range of qualities, from purity and grace to power and ferocity. So, why do these misconceptions about unicorns persist? One reason is that our modern understanding of unicorns has been heavily influenced by Western folklore, particularly from the medieval period. During this time, unicorns became symbols of purity and chastity, often associated with religious and moral ideals. This image of the unicorn as a gentle, white creature was further popularized by children's literature and fairy tales, which often portrayed unicorns as magical, harmless beings. Another reason for the persistence of these misconceptions is that many people are simply unaware of the rich and complex history of unicorn mythology. The idea of unicorns as purely innocent creatures is so deeply ingrained in our culture that it's hard to imagine them any other way. However, by exploring the diverse and multifaceted history of unicorns, we can gain a deeper understanding of these legendary creatures and the various meanings they have held throughout history. In reality, unicorns are far more than just symbols of purity and innocence. They represent a wide range of values and ideals, from strength and power to wisdom and benevolence. The unicorn's single horn has been interpreted as a symbol of unity, while its elusive nature has been seen as a metaphor for the pursuit of spiritual truth. By uncovering the truth behind these myths, we can see that unicorns continue to captivate us not just because of their beauty, but because of the deeper meanings they represent. As we've seen, unicorns are far more complex and multifaceted than we often give them credit for. They have been depicted in many different ways throughout history, from fierce and powerful beings to gentle and benevolent protectors. Despite the many misconceptions surrounding them, unicorns remain one of the most enduring and beloved symbols in human culture. So, what do you think? Have these insights changed your perception of unicorns? Do you have any beliefs or experiences related to unicorns that you'd like to share? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by mythical creatures, be sure to check out my next video, where I'll be exploring the top 10 mythical creatures from around the world. Thanks for watching, and remember, the world of myths and legends is always full of surprises.